Gladiator's super dirty, but I'm at the car wash. I'm going to get it clean. Haven't done it in a while, mainly because we have crappy days, you know, followed by a couple of good days, but then a couple of more crappy days. So it just hasn't made sense to get it washed. We got a good run of clean days coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and get it washed, get this baby clean again. I was expecting it to be super busy, but there's only 3 cars ahead of me, so it shouldn't be that long of a wait. Maybe because I waited until later in the day, but also there's been a couple of nice days already, so maybe the bulk of those people already came in when they had a couple of nice days out. The car wash that I go to uses this rewards app, so I've banked enough points that today's a free car wash. Oh yeah, sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, totally. Perfect.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
I always like to go back around with the chamois I keep inside the Gladiator just to get that extra water off that the dryers don't get. That way I'm not running around with water spots, especially in a black vehicle. It's really noticeable, so it takes a couple of minutes, makes it look so much better. Look at how much better the Gladiator looks now that it's been washed and properly dried with that chamois. No water spots. The paint's really kicking off, especially with this black, and you're seeing that mirror finish. I go back and forth on whether or not I like tire shine, and it's one of those things where it looks good either way. About a month or so ago, they accidentally shined my tires when I opted for no shine, and I liked it that way too. Thought I'd take a look underneath the Gladiator, and it is pretty clean. It's still holding up. You know, it's a 2020, so it's a little over 3 years old, but honestly, it's pretty dang clean under here. And when I say clean, I'm referring to there's no rust or corrosion or rot or grease or any kind of signs of, you know, wear and tear or excessive wear and tear. But you know, no real complaints. Although, one of the things I do notice, it looks like the guy at the car wash did not select the underbody wash. I usually do the more premium wash, and I did the free one today because of all the points I accumulated, but they usually will give me the same level that I always buy. So that's a little frustrating because I wanted to make sure the underbody was clean. So that is not a plus from those guys. But yeah, just taking a look underneath, see how everything looks. But everything looks pretty dry. Now, I did recently have an oil change, and let's see. I could see where, you know, they probably wiped off right here and cleaned it all up. This is curious. I don't know what this is. It hangs down right there. It comes out of the frame. And if we can get a shot, Look at that. If you know what that is, hit me up in the comments, because it doesn't look like it's a heat shield of any kind. So that is pretty interesting. I'm not sure exactly what that does. And it has a twin on this side. So yeah, not sure what that is, but it's there. The Gladiator has been pretty maintenance free over the course of the ownership. I haven't really had too many problems aside from what I would call just your run-of-the-mill normal things. I had battery issue this past winter. It was around Christmas time. We got some super crazy cold weather. I mean, we're talking with the wind chill. We were like negative 30 degrees out here in the Midwest when we had that Arctic blast come in. I had basically been ignoring the auxiliary battery, which had lost its ability to charge or hold a charge for some number of months, which then became parasitic on the main battery and ended up toasting it. And then when we got that extreme cold, boof, that was the final nail. It was under warranty because I was still a 2020, and I took it up to the dealership and they replaced both of them. I had looked into it just in case it wasn't going to be covered. You have to take off the module cover. You have to take out the modules themselves. You have to take out the case for the modules. You have to take out all the wiring. You have to get beneath that. You got to take the cover off the auxiliary battery. After you get through that, then you can take out the auxiliary battery. By this time, you're like 2-3 feet into the engine bay, and it's one of those things where it takes some time. One of the guys that I watched, he's quite familiar with Jeeps and Gladiators, kind of like his brand, and it still was a task for him. I think he said it was like a 45-minute job, and it was super cold, so I was not interested in that. So I was willing to hire it out instead of doing it myself, but luckily I was under warranty, so that was a non-issue. Other than that, you know, I had a remote battery that went out, went ahead and changed it. So yeah, other than that, you know, it's been pretty maintenance free, you know, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah, I've been pretty happy. I figured out where the brake fluid was going on the RX-7. The brake manifold is leaking from the back side down on the vacuum pump and onto the driver's side frame rail. So I got a new one ordered, and it should be in by the middle of this week. While I was at it, I ran the RX-7 up to the gas station, put another 7 gallons of gas in it. I wanted to make sure that the fuel gauge is working with the float, and it does, so that's definitely something I don't have to worry about. I also saw this sweet looking AMG 63 wagon up there. The gal said it was her husband's, and he does have good taste. While I was under the vet today, just taking a look at things, yes, that's a mess, but I know what's going on there. I was looking at here, and I have a little bit of an exhaust leak on the driver's side, so that should be an easy fix. My brother said the flange would be toasted from all the heat coming out, so we'll take a look and see if that gasket's done. But I'm gonna bolt it up now and see how it works. That was a pretty simple fix, and the engine bay is so much more quiet now. Apparently, this is where my microphone shut itself off, so I'm going to go ahead and re-record here in post-production, but the engine is so much more quiet. When I'm sitting in the cockpit of the car, I really have a completely different experience from what I had earlier. There was all that loud popping sound coming from the driver's side where that exhaust leak was coming out of the manifold before coming to the downpipe, but everything is so much more quiet. It's truly amazing. What I used was an exhaust manifold stud kit. This was pretty simple. It comes with 2 different sizes. You've got 3 in one size and 3 in the other. One's going to be shorter, which is the one here in my hand. You thread that up into the exhaust manifold from the underside. And then on the bottom side, you'll have that longer end. You put the washer on, cinch it up. But what I had was, I had one that was loose, one that was missing, and one that was tight. After getting that all put together, it was really simple. And it's fortunate that I have the lift because it gives me the advantage to reach it from the underside without much difficulty at all. Again, a simple fix that makes a huge difference in how the car sounds from the inside as well as on the outside, because I'm sure that loud popping sound from earlier was quite the driving distraction. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Rob's Garage, and if you did, hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you would, hit that subscribe button so that you can see more about what's going on in Rob's Garage. Until next time, see you later.